Bong, bong, it worked.
Bong to the bong.
Let's go. I was curious, was this going to work? I don't know. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Bodycast. My name is Copasetic.
My name is Pathogenic.
Bong, bong. It rhymes if you are not good at rhyming.
Slant it really hard.
Really, it depends on the accent. There's an accent somewhere out there where it rhymes, and it's like, who knows where that is. But this is obviously the official podcast, the Bodycast, for the r/rap battle subreddit. And that's the official subreddit of the international culture of battle rap. Find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and the official Discord server in the links below. It's the only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe. You know, the kind of people
Why?
The what?
Worldwide.
All over the world. That's us. Not just America, but a little bit of America. Yeah, you know, the people who watch the show, just they're very advanced. They're very much in tune with the culture, very tapped in, turned on, whatever that is. That's
one might say advanced people, period.
Yeah, very advanced human beings. That's what the show's for. It's for people who care about the culture, you know, more than the average fan, care about the international culture, just really cerebral, read a lot of books. I'm guessing they're not a 90-day fiance type of people. No shade if that's who you are. I mean, 100%. Just feel like those people don't have time for that. Maybe they're busy developing nuclear physics and things like that.
IQ really, really high.
Huge IQ. But those people, the way that they enjoy it, the way that you enjoy it more, I think, is obviously with the community cheers, and we'll do that now. If you have a beverage, a drink, some wine or some beers, join us now for the community cheers. Cheers! Yeah. Refreshing and so much better.
Wow, crazy!
Right? Isn't it? It's like magic.
Best water I've ever had.
It's going to make the show better. It's going to make everything better. It's going to make your life better is actually how that works. That's definitely how that works. So yeah, 3 minutes in and we've discussed a lot of battle rap, but let's get to it with the preamble out the way. Big week in battle rap this week, I think. Fairly decent week. Releases from all over the planet.
Yeah, tons of releases.
Like
watching new battles, this was a good week for you because there was stuff dropping from everywhere.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll just be covering the YouTube stuff, but God knows that Spaces battles, things like that, very much in the future of this show.
Shout out to the Spaces guys, for real.
Yeah, Greedy Gotti lawyer.
When it comes to doing that shit, I can only imagine that it's got to be a completely different vibe. I remember when I started doing video battles when COVID kind of first hit, it took me like 30, 40 takes on the video to do it without fucking up. And I had the round memorized. If I had done it in front of a crowd, I feel like I could have done it as I normally do with battles. But for some reason, having it be on video, not really in front of everybody, totally changed it. So I haven't done a Twitter Spaces battle, but I imagine it's a whole different mindset in comparison to a live one.
That's super interesting. Yeah, I remember when the pandemic first hit, there was a bunch of video battles and everybody was doing that. And who did you battle?
Video battles, I battled Human at the time.
Oh, right.
It was Pathogenic versus Human at the start of COVID, which we kind of set it up because that was hilarious. We had to do that.
He threw a bunch of shade at me. Oh my God. I was watching it. I was like, oh no, Human doesn't like me. Fuck. What did I do? Fuck. I thought we were cool, man. What happened? I thought we were cool. I'm sorry. I know I fucked it up. Probably. It's probably my fault. But yeah, I remember that battle. I mean, I didn't see that battle.
I battled Human, I battled Prehistoric, and I did a video battle with Real Deal.
Right. Huh. This is all smoked out.
Yep.
Amazing.
Well, except for the Prehistoric one was UBL, but
Oh yeah, UBL. Okay, cool. I'm judging their latest tournament, or I judged Their latest turn. No, there's the finals is this week.
Yeah, there's one more.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're following that too, hey?
I keep in touch with it. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Shouts out to UBL. Shouts out to Owen and Owen's beard and all the boys at UBL.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, we'll cover all that shit. We'll cover fucking whatever, everything. There's some talent in there for sure. As far as YouTube battles, you know, let's start at the top. I mean, let's just fucking talk about it. Geechi versus Lux.
The one.
This feels like the ultimate, like the pinnacle in new versus old. And I know that a lot of people, you know, that's so overused. It's almost cliche at this point, but it really feels like this is a style that people used to really appreciate. And this is a style that's fucking killing people right now.
Yeah. And totally touted to be like that too. That'd be like watching Michael Jordan against LeBron right now. If you were to put it in basketball terms, you've got the two arguably GOATs in their respective times going against one another to kind of settle it, I guess you could say.
And that's cool about that because you can't really do Gretzky versus Ovechkin. You can't do LeBron versus, but you can do Lux versus Geechi, and you can match them up and see what is better.
Exactly. And the other thing too is there's kind of always going to be a little bit of debate because they're, you know, style clash, right? That it'll always be a style clash, old and young, and what was working and what is working now. But overall, what a great battle to watch.
Yeah.
Old school URL, super long, but still good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's no doubt that it's an interpretive thing, but also, you know, it's one of those things where you can't, there's subjectivity and objectivity, and it's like you can't really know what's good and you can't really know what's bad, but you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
You know when you know what, you know, I don't think there's any doubt about who won the battle. Am I wrong? No. There's like the odd opinion, and then those people are getting flamed.
They are getting absolutely roasted for that idea.
And Lux said cool things. Like I was listening to it and I'm like, oh, that's a fucking cool idea. And the way that he put that is super neat. It's neato.
Yeah. Yeah, like Lux had Lux was talking about my FIA make Gotti forget about it. He had some old school mobster stuff that he had in his first round that I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's typical Lux, where he also takes a very large chunk of time and a large chunk of lines to get to something cool. Whereas Geechi's like, look, why am I going to fucking do all that? I'm not going to fix what isn't broke. Here is exactly what I'm talking about in 2 lines. And everyone's like, why would we wait around and try and figure it out?
It's the new shit. This is the future, right? Like, I mean, it feels like, you know, that old, like Rakim changes the way that people rap. And now you have guys who are taking that and taking it to the next level. And it's like those styles are incomparable. This is just more efficient, more effective. For me anyways, he's punching all the time. He's angling while he's punching. His demeanor, like he was beating him off of just presence alone. And like, you know, like not taking any shit from him is the way that he framed all of his rounds, that Lux wasn't a legend, and you know that he was putting in all the work, and that he's, you know, the way that he framed that is really smart persuasion and really brilliant, like battling.
100%. I mean, Lux is a chess player, right? And we've talked before about how battling is like a game of chess. And, you know, even though people have said that Gotti's stuff is more simplistic, it doesn't matter when you strategize it perfectly and put your rounds together in a way that literally beats somebody every single round. And the more you get, that you started in the first round, he goes to the second round on a similar idea. By the third round, you already believe it because he's convinced you for 2.
Yeah.
So, you know, he just leads you along in that way that You know, he's not the one to fuck with right now.
It's weaponized persuasion, and it's really it's next level psychology stuff, and it's I mean, in a package that somebody who he has all of the credibility that you would want. He's got the charisma. He's got a great amount of charisma and like the people's champion type of feel to him, Geechi, and projection, energy, attitude. He's kind of the fucking perfect battler right now.
Yeah. Do you arguably say he's the most well-rounded?
I don't know if other people on his level are doing comedy as well as him, because Geechi makes me fucking laugh. He makes me laugh so hard. He's fucking really funny. He's a really funny dude.
I watch it thinking that he's got to be in the conversation for the most well-rounded battler when it comes to whether you want street talk or real shit or funny, or he's kind of got all of it.
Yeah, effortlessly. It's really this is going to turn into a Geechi Gotti podcast.
Shout out Geechi.
For real, just stand-up guy, outside of the ring, even though that doesn't count, even though it doesn't matter as far as the art. Like the fact that everybody does business with him says that he's, above board, and everybody who's a fan says he's super generous with his time, and like his memes, like he's fucking firing on every single cylinder. It's amazing. This trolling he was doing on the Twitter Spaces as well. God damn, that was funny. This is a really dangerous battler to be up against, and we saw with Mike P, and I mean, obviously this battle is a long time before then, but I've been missing comments here. Oh, what's up, guys? Oh, shit, I'm sorry. This is a skill that I will learn eventually, is to read shit and speak at the same time. Yeah, maybe it's the watches. I don't know. People who watch watches are better at battle rap. Is that possible? It makes sense.
I think it could be. Sounds very possible to me.
Yeah, you get a bunch of the best minds in battle rap discussing strategy, discussing things like that. I don't know. Yeah, fascinating. Really, really difficult opponent. I'm interested to see Geechi versus Real Deal because I feel like
that's going to be crazy.
He can operate on that level.
He's kind of on a tour right now, battling the best. I mean, battling Lux, battling Real Deal now, who's not. I mean, you can say he's the longest running King of the Dot champ as of right now, and then battling Jazz. Like he's kind of taken out all of the best in their respective places and trying to do that. So
yeah, his A-Ward battle is amazing as well. I have him winning that 2-1, but we won't get into that. But yeah, great battle. I mean, it's going to go down as one of the legendary battles. I don't know if Lux versus whoever else is really, I mean, I feel like a lot of people were just sort of like, I don't know. I didn't vibe with any of the other battles. I watched this because of Geechi, and he made it entertaining for me. So I don't know where this stands in the pantheon of Lux battles, but I enjoyed it a lot, and I enjoyed it a lot more because of Geechi.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more too, considering I think his last one was Lux and Averb. Besides like solo ones, I think it was Lux and Averb.
You can't even remember. That's how forgettable it is.
Yeah.
Look at us being edgy. A couple of edgy white Canadians talking about how Lux is done. Oh my God, forgettable. What are we going to do?
Comments. We're going to get blamed.
It's possible. Real Deal needs to be in the conversations more. The man has continuously evolved and still getting better. I agree. I mean, we talked about the title match last time, and it's very similar to Geechi. He operates at a high level, great energy, projection, great charisma, comedy, angling, punching, the whole deal. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, any more thoughts on Lux and Geechi?
Not overly. I felt the only thing was that Geechi did an amazing job. I'm just bigging up Geechi like constantly, but he did a really good job dealing with the crowd on Lux's side too, because they were very, I guess, annoying would be a good word.
Oh
like,
my God.
shut the fuck up and let your man rap, and don't talk while his opponent's rapping.
And when you're the only one really hyped on a line, like maybe
Yeah, I don't know. That's where bringing people that aren't battlers but are your friends ringside can sometimes be
yeah,
a fault, I guess.
yeah. I've experienced that. I've experienced that. If you go back and watch my old battles, I think, oh, that line wasn't that great. Or I see people reacting to my setups and I'm like, those are all of my friends and they don't know that I was about to punch. So actually, maybe I'm not that good.
Whoops.
But yeah, otherwise very entertaining. Congrats, URL, on coming back to YouTube. And let's get into Rosenberg versus Cicero. You saw that one, yeah?
Yes, I did.
RBE.
Yeah. RBE, baby. Do you believe?
I love RBE. I love ARP. I spoke with him recently, and I'm just name dropping him because that's who I am. I just spoke with ARP. I just spoke with him recently, and he's great. Like, people who know ARP know that not only does he do business well, but he's funny, he's down to earth, he's really cool, and great businessman, and pushes his talent, really builds the culture, and like a genuinely good human being. So shouts out to ARP.
He's easy to listen to, and he does blogs, and he'll talk about the culture, and obviously being involved in it for so long, he's got great points to make about it. So he's one of those guys that you want to listen to him when he's talking about it.
Instant respect for sure. So shouts out to ARP, and shouts out to Raw and Cicero. This is sort of a lower energy battle. Like, there was I was surprised. This was sort of like a conversation more than anything.
Yeah, it was chill.
Yeah,
not a lot of energy on either side.
No. Raw is punching, he's rapping, his classic Rosenberg Raw style, which is really good. I don't know if the KOTD season has helped him sort of like in any way, or if he's just already at that level where he knows what he needs to do every time, and it's easy. But it looks effortless to him, and he's making a lot of really crazy punches, a lot of really great bars, and having it look easy is a very good winning strategy, just in general.
Yeah.
Just having it look
like you're not trying to be good, right?
Real, just something to take into consideration. Cicero, I think he was also good. I don't think he was punching as much. And did he stumble? Am I imagining that, or there was some lengthy dramatic pauses?
See, and that's one of those things where it's difficult to, like we were talking about a few episodes back about during the season, how you have an allotted amount of time before you have to take points off on, what is a stumble and what is a choke. It looked like Cicero never actually got to the point where he was like, I need to take a very long break and remember my material. He kind of just had to catch up to where he was at. So there was some pauses in it that kind of made it not as smooth when it comes to listening. But overall, I wouldn't say that he choked.
Yeah. It wasn't
really stumbled.
It was enough for the judges, if there were judges, to be like, oh, clearly Rosenberg.
Yes, exactly.
But it's not enough for it to ruin the battle, which is great.
No, and I think it was good too, being, a lot of that card seemed to be old versus new, with J Mills and Big K and Ill Will and Reed Dallas. And this had that similar feel, but also because both of them rep Philly. So it seemed like it was more old Philly and new Philly as opposed to just old versus new. So I thought it had a really cool, geographical background to it as well, to see both of them doing that.
That is a spectacular insight, my friend, and that is why we have you on the show. Definitely worth a watch. Like that battle, and shouts out to RBE for continually dropping dope new content. And interested to see where Rosenberg goes after this. I know Cicero's not like a battler. I doubt, I don't know if we'll see him again, or if we will. I'm sure it'll be dope, but we expect to see Rosenberg again on big names, big cards, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Although he's said that he'll never work with KOTD again, so who knows what'll happen there.
Lots of people say lots of things.
Lots of people say lots of things, and I don't even know if that's still accurate. Like, I don't know if he's still upset or if he's not, because I saw they were talking about a RBE versus KOTD event, and of course everybody wants that.
So crazy.
I don't know how that would work, but set it up. See.
Yeah.
But yeah, I doubt that he has any really hard feelings anymore. Because you know how that shit is in battle rap. The next one, we're keeping it in America, going down to Florida for A Ward versus Don Marino.
Oh, yes.
Don Marino, the heated grudge match that everybody's been waiting for.
This one was much more heated than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, damn. Face first.
Yep.
So like I've met Don Marino because I was on the World Dom card with him and Trevi. It's when Trevi battled him as Don Dallas.
Don Dallas, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Amazing. And you have no idea. It's a cool thing about battle rap. You have no idea where people are going to end up or what's going to end up happening. Don Marino, Don Dallas becomes Don Marino and is a staple in Florida battle rap. And big name down there. And he gets a big match versus A Ward, which I think there was like a counter hype to it. It's like people were like, "Oh, A Ward versus Don Marino, nobody cares about this." And then that spurred on like, "Well, if nobody cares about this, then fuck you." And it became this big thing. And there was like a lot of Twitter behind it. So
yeah, there was a huge amount of buzz on Twitter in comparison to what I had heard about everything and on other socials before that. I don't know. I all I know is looking at it when I first saw that they were battling, my first reaction was Don's about to get fucked up.
He's gonna die. He's
about to die.
And he did not survive. I think that he definitely lost the battle. I think he's very talented, and obviously he knows how to do a lot of good things, right? But I think he'll admit this too. His performance was a little bit all over the place. He had a very strange. He had another, church/pedophile angle in the third, which I think is polarizing. Some people thought it worked. Some people didn't think it worked. But regardless, sometimes that's good. But A Ward is, again, we're talking about these guys who are on the elite tier. He's hitting so hard. He's punching all the time. Great performance. A Ward is the top tier performer, and that sells a lot of everything, really.
Yeah, and it's really hard to go up against a guy when you're the one who books it, or when your promoter tells you you're battling A Ward and you got 2-minute rounds, and you know that A Ward could easily write a minute of each of those rounds and just rebuttal for another minute and still whoop your ass with half the material that you have. He's a special battler when it comes to being able to do those different things at a high level. Yeah. It was definitely kind of shocking for me anyway to see the response that Don had in the second round when the heated stuff happened. And I think it was used more as an excuse because he was already kind of stumbling through his material at that point, and I think using A Ward shaking his head as an excuse, because I kind of watched it thinking, then what can you do when your opponent's rapping? You can't shake your head, you can't nod, you can't. What's the expected proper protocol when somebody's rapping to you?
The battle rap has like there's an interesting psychological thing that happens, and especially when we take into consideration our egos, when you get in the ring and your framing has you as equal to the person that you're battling, or equal or even better. I think most rappers think that they're the best, some think that they're better. And you have a debatable, there's no issue. Your ego is protected. But
Yeah.
if you're in a losing battle and you're getting your ass kicked, there's an idea that your brain will try to protect you. And it creates that, I don't want to use the words because I know they're overused, but there's a cognitive dissonance between your framing of reality and what's actually happening in reality. And when that breaks, it can be very jarring for people. And I think that it's possible that Don Marino was in a situation where he thought, hey, word Schmayward, I can beat this guy. And when it became clear that that's not happening, you can become testy, you can become, agitated, all sorts of things. Sort of breaks your mind a little bit, and that's great for us, right?
Yeah.
As fans, I love it. Bring it on. So I don't know. Fun battle. I don't think Don Marino did too terribly, but he lost.
He lost.
Yeah.
He didn't lose as bad as I thought he would, though. Which, I don't know. When you're in one of those matchups, I don't know if that's exactly what you're aiming for. But I know, like, if you're a Joe Schmo on a smaller league and you book a word to come battle you and you lose, but you don't die, that's considered a win. But for Don Marino, who's been on URL, who's been at that sort of level, you're not expected to lose and just do okay. You're expected to try and take a round or change it up and
take a round.
Yeah.
If you battle a word on a small league and the clip doesn't go viral, that's kind of a win.
Yeah.
You kind of escaped on that one. So, because it's like that's a funny joke, but also 100% true.
Yeah, it really is.
Just he's that kind of guy. So fuck, crazy battle. Shouts out to Gates of the Garden. They're dope and pushing the culture. Let's step outside of America just briefly. Come with me on a trip.
Even though neither of us are in America.
And we'll step outside of America and we'll go to a Canadian league hosting a battle in America, Lou Sythe versus Reggie P.
Let's take a step out to step back in.
Just briefly. Just pop out, pop back in. Lou Sythe versus Reggie P. What did you think?
Classic Lou Sythe in the season. He really put on, and I thought that he was really, really showing what he's good at and putting all of his skills sort of on display, I would say. And I thought that Reggie P did good.
Yeah. Reggie P's great.
It's kind of tough to be a guy whose thing is yelling, I'm the best at the end of his rounds, and then not winning a battle in the tournament or in the season, I guess. Like, that's kind of a hard sell. But at the same point in time, you got to, good confidence. But it was a great battle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's about, for sure. Lou is obviously an alien. Everybody knows this, from another planet. And the thing that struck me is, I know recently I heard him say in an interview that he hasn't written anything down since his Loso battle. So he does it in his head, which is an interesting tactic that I know some people use. What do you think about that?
The hardest part about those kinds of things is when you are involved in the scene and somebody does something that's so outside of what you do, it's hard to conceive doing it. I've heard that Pat doesn't write things down either, and that he does it in his head also. And I couldn't imagine not writing it down. I write it down multiple times to help me remember. It's like taking notes in school.
Totally.
And so being able to basically take all of the puzzle pieces that you come up with and make the puzzle in your head and lock them in there. Like, the writing them down in notes or something is my safety blanket when my brain is busy doing other things. I can go to work for a day, come back, and if I don't remember things right away, I can see where I was.
Right.
I have that reminder there. So being able to write it down in your head as you go and still remember it all and not forget something and be like, fuck, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's like like a muscle that you build and it gets better. But building it in your head, like you said, it's like a puzzle, and I like to see the pieces and
Yeah.
visually. And some people don't do that. I know that Whoomp, a local battler here in Canada, he does it all in his head. He does it all in his head, and he doesn't practice. Not once. The first time that he says it is in the ring. All of his material.
No fucking way.
Yeah, which is really crazy, because here's a guy who doesn't choke, who doesn't stumble, who writes really creatively and really genius concepts and conceptually, and there's no practice. There's no running bars. It's all there. It's locked in. So I don't know what the fuck, but I gotta try this shit. I just
damn.
Right, like maybe I don't know. I fucking don't know.
Yeah, but, and that's kind of where the idea of giving someone the name of like an alien comes from, right? Like it's so out of the norm for a guy like me that it must be alien to be able to think and do that kind of stuff.
You know what would be great is to fucking tell people that you write it down, obviously, and to do it in your head, and then like show up the day before while you're chilling with your boys, right before the event, and just write it all down, write it all out on a piece of paper, and like, yeah, I think I'll say this, you know, and then just like you've been practicing it for months, but now you're just like, everybody thinks, oh man, I sat down backstage and I just saw him write his rounds. This is crazy.
That whole thing. Just like 30 minutes ago.
I don't know. You know, you got to build a legend somehow. But yeah, really cool Lou Cypher battle. He's so good. You know, could have easily been him in the semis versus Bill Collector. That would have been amazing. But really, you know, funny, charismatic, clever, and a good guy. I like Lou. He's cool, good people. So shouts out to him. Shouts out to Reggie P as well. But that was our Canadian segment. So there you go, Canada.
Our Canadian American segment.
Facts. Cortez versus XL. I missed it. Shit. I didn't catch it before the fucking show because I didn't do my homework.
That's fine. Cortez and XL was great.
Yeah, please.
It was Cortez is legendary on the East Coast, and especially when it comes to iBattle on that side there. You don't get to talk about Cortez the same way everybody does online. There's some weird idea that Cortez isn't very good, and he's really bad, and he always has been. And this is one of those battles that happened in New England where XL proved that he was at a level that could compete with guys like Cortez, and Cortez did what he does and shut down a lot of people thinking he couldn't. So it was a really great battle.
Amazing. Yeah, it's good to see. I think that you know, that internet sort of internet weirdo theory, call that internet weirdo theory, is, you know, this sort of thing that, you know, I think I had it with I didn't have internet weirdo theory, but I had this perception that, you know, A Ward wasn't very good, I think, at the beginning of his career, and I was trolling him a bit. I was trolling him a lot, and you would constantly hear from people like, you know, you have to see him live, like, and I think with Cortez there's that distance where people see him so much on YouTube that they have this idea of him that, you know, doesn't match up with who he is and what he actually brings to the table. And when you see somebody like Cortez live, it's like it's really impressive. All of that experience and skill is fucking right there in front of you.
Yeah, and I had a really funny moment when I went to New York on iBattle, and I was hanging out with one of the battlers from Arizona. His name is Los Temp, and Cortez was in the venue. He was just showed up to watch, and Los Temp was like, "Oh, there's Cortez," and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." And he turned to me and he said, "I guess you Canadians love Cortez." And I was kind of taken aback, like, what does me being from Canada have to do with loving Cortez?
Wow.
But the kind of idea that him battling Holohan and one of the most famous Cortez clips ever is from King of the Dot against one of the peak Canadian battlers at the time, kind of puts it into the brain that, we love Cortez up here in Canada. He was like, "Do you want me to introduce you to him? Do you want me to go bring him over here?" And I was like, "I'll go say hi eventually, bro." It's fine, but yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, he had a good run on KOTD where he was on a lot of different cards, important cards, and during that time too. And in the beginning of KOTD, he was one of the stars for sure. So that makes sense. That tracks. But it's great to see him. I think he's getting his just due these days because he's been in the culture for so long. It's hard to ignore the impact that he's had, which is genuine. And really good to see Excel doing well too, and getting those plates and doing well, because I feel like he is especially underrated.
100%.
I thought during the Grand Prix, I really saw him level up with his writing and angling and joking and everything. I thought he's just, in the last couple of years, I've really seen him, I think, him at his best. And maybe I'm fucking blowing smoke out my ass. Like, maybe he's thinking, "Oh man, I've fucking relaxed the last 2 years. What the fuck is he talking about?" But I felt like he's been really dope these last 2 years. It's great to see.
Yeah, and he just battled on the I Battle New England card against, I think it was Jay something in New England there. So he just had another battle on I Battle. For anyone who subscribed to the app, definitely check that out too, because Excel's crazy.
Yeah, super dope. Yeah, curious to see where we see him next. Cortez, obviously, we will see him later in a couple hours. So, but we've already talked about that. Last battle on our list is we are going to jump from America. Oh, no, second last. We're going to jump from America to Africa. Battlerap Nigeria had another drop from their March Mayhem 2 event, which I'd love to cover briefly. One of my favorites, U3, versus the new up-and-comer who's got a lot of hype behind his name, Pen Priest. So dope battle. This is a really dope event. I'm really excited to see the rest of the drops from this. Obviously, we watched Slim Buck versus Queen Moda, and that was really dope. Shouts out to those guys. But what were your initial thoughts for Pen Priest versus U3?
Comparatively, U3. Comparatively to Queen Moda and Slim Buck, I definitely felt like there wasn't as much random gas, because we had kind of talked last time about how it seemed like the crowd was just going a little too crazy for everything.
Sure.
Whereas with this battle, it seemed a lot more. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it was warranted, yeah, for what they were saying, the right amount of reaction. Still super long. They definitely have the URL formula that they've been kind of looking at and working through. But I really liked both of them. When it comes to Pen Priest, he had a little bit of interesting vocal inflections, kind of reminiscent of pausing for periods of time. Sounded like his voice was breaking a little bit. Didn't really know what he was up to. U3 was crazy. He had a lot of great stuff. Tons of great pen flips, some other priest flips. I think that there was also a lot of, I don't know if there was some history with this battle too, because there was talk from both sides, I think, about certain groups. Hydra, I think, is one of them, of some stuff that had happened at a previous event or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know if it was like a grudge match or what, but it was very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, U3 has been sort of like, I think U3 and oh, I'm gonna fucking forget his name now. Awesome. U3 has been one of my favorites for sure from the jump. It's another fucking short name. God damn it. But yeah, when I first saw him, it was like, okay, this guy knows how to punch, and that was sort of the thing about him, the buzz about him in Battlerap Nigeria was like, he's a puncher, he's gonna punch all the time, and he's doing it, and it's dope. Like, I like that style. That's the style that I like. I'm guilty, sorry, but
yeah,
you can keep it rolling and create that subtext. That's fucking awesome, and it's fun to listen to, and it keeps me engaged. Doesn't need to be long and drawn out. I don't even care so much if it's name flip heavy, because you do what you do. I thought he was getting a lot of reaction. I thought he was doing really, really well. So shouts out to both those guys. Shouts out to Battlerap Nigeria. I think there's another battle that's just released, which we'll cover next week. But they've got a pretty good release schedule going for these March Mayhem 2 battles, and I think they've got another event planned coming up. So keep an eye out for that. Follow them on Twitter. Shouts out to those guys. Hopping over the Mediterranean, if I know geography, even remotely, it's a little tryout battle. Not a tryout battle, but they're beginners. Caveman versus Gas Time. Just in the beginnings of their careers. These guys are academy guys. They had a match here on this last undisclosed event that me and Frost covered on the channel. Check that out. Well, it's in the links and the things and the doobly-doo. I was excited for this. Caveman versus Gas Time. What did you think?
I think it took a little bit to get into it. Mm-hmm. But once the first round was over, I don't know if it was the crowd that had warmed up or if it was just that the first rounds weren't as heavy when it comes to the funny material or the punches, but it definitely picked up steam the further on that the battle went. And I'd be really interested to see, because I haven't seen the card layout, if this was the first battle of the night or not. Because when it comes to battling on events, especially when you're the opening act, sometimes it does take a little bit to get the crowd, into it.
Sure.
They gotta sort of warm up to the fact that what they're watching is going to be entertaining, whether that's funny or whether that's reacting because of punches. So I can't remember where they are on the placement of that card, but
yeah, no, I think you're right. It's it might have been the first match for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good though. I really enjoyed it, and you can definitely see that both of them have a lot that they can learn when it comes to controlling the ring, controlling the funny punches that they have. But they also got the perfect supporting cast to be able to help them out, right? Guys in England that are also fucking funny, like we've talked about, that can really help them out.
Yeah, it's a great environment for that style to grow. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to the Undisclosed series, which is really like the development. But say development has all these negative connotations, but it's really like a relaxed and fun environment. So shouts out to those guys for providing that for their development, because that's the best way to grow battle rap and to grow battle rap interest, is to have fun, is to have people who are having a good time. I thought Caveman, he's funny. Gas Time is more of a rapper. He's doing a lot of rapping stuff, but like you said, it picked up, and it's an entertaining battle. So shouts out to those guys. That's it for the battles that dropped this week. There was a release premiere. Speaking of premiere, I think they released the entirety of all the smoke card. So I don't know if that had happened previously or what, but we definitely need to go over that.
Yes,
just briefly, and maybe we'll do a prediction vlog or something like that when it comes out with Yumi and maybe somebody on the card.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Yumi and Frankie. We could definitely do that. So keep an eye out. It'll be fun. Frankie versus Homeschool. That's the main event.
That's the big one. Yeah.
So So we'll just put Drew's comment up because it's appropriate at this point. Homeschool is obviously an iBattle guy. Very fair to say. He's been getting all of his shots on iBattle, and he's been great. He's battled A-Ward. He's battled a bunch of fucking huge names. So he's no stranger to battling top tier competition, but he's going across the pond to be battling what many people consider is one of the best writers in the UK in Frankie. So I don't know. What is your first impressions on that in the match?
That there is going to be a lot of pen work in this fucking battle.
Replay value through the roof.
Through the roof. And the cool thing about Frankie versus Homeschool is that each of them has a different kind of way of showing off how good at writing they are. Frankie is a lot like Bender. I know Bender is one of his favorites, one of his idols, and who he battled a while ago before he passed. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And so Frankie's writing is multi-based. It's a lot more complex multis, and the punches that he makes coming off of that are super impressive. Whereas Homeschool isn't based so much on multis, but his ability to create subtext, create this sort of idea, and then punch multiple times on it is very, very impressive.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very accurate description of what's happening there in terms of their technical abilities. You know, we've had the pleasure of having Frankie out here in Vancouver once to battle G-Show. Shouts out to G-Show. And it's so much fun to watch because you're just hooked. You know, they've got your attention. There's no lapse in attention. There's no being bored. It's like these guys are going to punch all the time. These guys are going to say some crazy shit. So you have to be paying attention or you're going to miss it.
Yeah. And the cool thing too about I watched Homeschool versus Ace Amin live because that was on Gods of the Arena.
Right. And that was live for you.
For me, it was live, and I couldn't believe how he would say something that would make us all react, and then he'd say something right after it that would get just as much, if not more. He almost builds this aura of, yeah, but wait for it. That was crazy, but just wait for it, because it's going to be even crazier when I hit you with that next thing after. His biggest thing is setups that are haymakers. So it's really cool to be able to see. And I actually saw Geechi and Frankie too, because I was on that card too.
God damn.
So I've been able to see both of them live before, and yeah, I'm really excited. There's a reason it's the main event. It's going to be really crazy.
That's fucking dope. Obviously, there's the Anarchy 2-on-2 tournament, which is really cool and deserves its own show, so we won't get into that. But I mean, you're going to see, a bunch of new 2-on-2 teams come out of the UK, and a bunch of new friendships and a bunch of new enemies, I'm sure. But a lot of
see some classic favorites too.
Yeah. Very, very cool, very impressive card. I think this All the Smoke card. The undercard, I don't even know if you can call it the undercard, but there's 9 battles on this card. So there's 9 battles and many, many battlers. I'm not going to do quick math. I'm not about that. But Frost versus CJA is another one on the card that, I mean, could keep doing
that's going to be crazy. CJ is my guy too. He's definitely a close friend of mine. So it's going to be exciting.
Here's a situation where, you've got a guy, I think they're kind of similar, to be honest, in their last 2 years, in which CJA has so much potential. And when you see him versus G-Show, or you see him, in the earlier days, 3-4 years ago, whatever it is, you think, oh, this guy has so much passion that it just fucking comes through in his performance. And he's a really great performer.
Yes.
And as his writing, comes close to his performance, as it ascends to meet his performance, He's getting bigger and bigger plates, and Lex is really investing in him, and he's doing really well with it. He's taking it seriously, and he's taking each challenge and making himself better. And I feel like that really mirrors Frost's ascension in the last 2 years as well, because Frost has been around for a while. He knows how to write, he knows how to perform, he knows all that stuff, but he's just been on a pace now where he gets more and more attention for the quality of work that he's doing. And he's great every time he goes out, if not better than the last time. And he's one of the real names you've got to worry about. You can lose to Frost. You can really lose to CJA. So this is a really cool match of two, I don't even want to say up and comers because they've been coming up for so long, but they've really come into their own now. And where you used to say, hey, these guys have a lot of potential, now you're starting to see them fulfill that.
Yeah, they're starting to reach it. So
yeah,
it's going to be such a good battle. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, huge event. There's Giz versus Mikey AK. Nobody knows who Mikey AK is, but okay. I don't feel guilty not knowing. I feel like I'll figure it out and I'll get on it for the time that we need to do that. But Jester Black versus Sam Hypes should be dope. Jester had a good away game on No Coast, I think, recently, and Sam Hypes was no-showed, I think, recently.
Yes.
Oh, he was supposed to battle Whispers and the whole controversy with Whispers.
Yes.
Whispers. And then there's Crow versus Lazy, which is the return of Lazy Arse Jack.
Welcome back.
Damn, because I was just roasting him the other episode for how he quit Battlerap, and now he's back. Boy, do I look the fool. So foot in my mouth.
Slight name change?
It's just Lazy now. That's like a year ago. He used to be Lazy Arse Jack, but I think he changed it, which is probably a good idea. But Lazy is I don't know how much better that is, especially when you bailed on your last battle, which was a really good look for you, and you bailed because you basically were like, I don't really know if I want to do this or something. He gave like a really honest but not good excuse. It's like he was very genuine about the not great excuse.
That's like one of those moments growing up where it was like, your mom would say, don't lie to me, just tell me the truth and I won't be that mad. And you'd tell her the truth and she'd still be mad because it's worth being mad about, but it's like, but thanks for telling me the truth.
Right? It's exactly it. I didn't do my homework because I was watching TV. Well, fuck. All right. I mean, shit. Okay. I guess you won't, get a plate. But here he is. He's back and he's going up against Crow. So it's a plate, but it's not a huge look. It's Crow's an up and comer, and it'll be good for both of them. I think Crow's got a real opportunity here because obviously there's a ton to talk about. Lazy's brought upon himself, and for Lazy, it's a great redemption arc if he can prove that not only he's jumping back in it, but that he deserves the kind of matches that he was getting before he did a semi-retirement, his first retirement among many, I'm sure. I mean, I'm on like 6 right now, so I'm but that's the All the Smoke card. It's premiere. It's May, so we got some fucking time. But it was just dropped, so it's an announcement, so it's on the subreddit. If you want your battles, your events, your anything covered, post it on the subreddit, and there's a good chance that we will discuss it on the show. So that being said, back over the pond, over the Pacific Ocean, as we also refer to it in geographical terms, to Canada and Set the Bar Entertainment, which has a new card. They're a league out of, I don't even know if you can say out of Surrey anymore, because I think they're just Vancouver.
Yeah, British Columbia.
Yeah, right. Lower British Columbia, because BVB is in Kelowna as well.
Yes.
So shouts out to BVB. Set the Bar. I think this is their second live event card. The first one I did not show up to which was bad. And I saw Whoop last night. He's like, you got some nerve showing your face right here. And then he gave me a big hug. Yeah.
Like, you don't know how long I had that material in my head for and didn't write it down.
He told me what it was too. He was just 3 rounds of dick jokes. Just 3 rounds talking about dicks. And,
classic.
And I was like, huh. I don't know if I dodged a bullet there. I'm sure I would have lost 3 rounds of dick jokes, which is its own thing. But for the record, and for everybody who doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now, Whoop is undefeated. I've never seen him lose a battle. Yeah, so that was a fun event. But this will be the second one, and hopefully everybody shows up. I know I'm planning to show up. Yeah, it's some really good names on here. I know we briefly covered it last time, but I would say, Bad Bars, Mike, Redshirt Mike, previously Blasphemy, and previously before that, Wise Stingray.
Yes.
He's a staple in Vancouver battle rap culture, and really quality guy who's always pushing the culture and always putting our community first. So shouts out to him. He's jumping on the card, which is fine. I think there's a thing about promoters putting themselves on cards, but that really only applies to promoters who are like really booking themselves a look. And he seems to be like very much for the culture, putting himself on a card against anyone and giving guys looks and giving guys opportunities. And this Bad Bars battle with Knucklehead, aka Nuxie, who's Nuxie now, it looks like it would be a lot of fun. This is just going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious. It's one of those, it's purposefully bad to be funny. So.
And those guys are good at it. They know what they're doing, and they know their audience. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Just one development really battle, I would say Kaiser versus Lil Bucket, and Kaiser's the homie. Obviously, shouts out to Kai. And he's had a few battles, and it's getting his feet under him. And Lil Bucket is a little more established, I would say, but also there's bad blood there. They want to. There's a little bit of a grudge match happening.
They want to settle it.
Yeah, some online shit talking. So that should be fun. We'll see what happens there. And then Lil Q versus Devious, which is obviously battle of the night.
Gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Lil Q before. Have you ever seen Lil Q live?
I have not got to see him live.
It's something else. It's really stupid. And I really like him a lot. I think he's got a lot of charisma. Obviously, he doesn't give a fuck, and he's really funny. He's battled Jay the Nightwing.
Yeah,
which I don't know if people
That's so crazy.
But Lil Q has battled Jay the Nightwing. They called him Wingy for 3 rounds, which is really funny. So shouts out to Lil Q. And Devious, obviously, really, really funny. Drunk Devious. I mean, I've seen him win battles where he clearly did not win and still won. He's just a mess, and it's so entertaining. So shouts out to him. I hope that that whole battle is just a time bomb. But easily battled.
A good one.
For real. Bar J versus Wise Guy. What are your thoughts on that? You battled Bar J. You know Wise Guy.
Yeah, both classic comedians coming in. Both are going to have really funny material. I mean, Wise Guy has had his ups and downs, and he was in a pretty significant down for the last little bit. And so hopefully this is the up he needs to get back to doing what he does.
Yeah, he's got quite a life. And a lot of people will recognize Wise Guy as one of the KOTD OGs. He was on the channel. He was very hilarious. He is still very hilarious, very genius. A lot of his stuff, I think, underrated might be, and because of the trouble that he has and the difficulty that he's had in his life. But really, really great, genuine human being, and incredibly talented.
One of the nicest dudes. No one can stretch a multi like Wise Guy can.
Oh my God. Like it's him and Cody the Catch, I think, are the 2 people who are legitimately masterclass in multis.
Yeah.
And having to be fun battles. So so that should be dope. Big big look for Barjay, and I hope he steps up and finds another gear, because I think he's got a lot of talent too, and I think that that could be a really good match. Both those guys come with it. Creative versus Stevie P. What are we saying about this?
It hasn't happened yet.
I think Creative is. I think Creative is one of the best in Canada, and I think that's like. I don't know if that's controversial, but when I say that, I mean it with all my heart. I've seen him at Beast Mode. I've seen him his whole career pretty much, and you know, he freestyles well. Obviously, he's funny. I think he is not consistently in his bag. I've seen him, you know, lose to So Severe, even though he was really good. I've seen him beat a lot of people that were on his level. Really convincingly, and he's had some real classic matches as well. So I think, you know, when he's on his game, when he's, you know, really focused and in the zone, he's incredibly difficult to beat.
Yeah, and this is a situation where I hope that Stevie takes Creative seriously enough that Creative wants to do good. I don't know, that might not make 100% sense, but there was
that for us.
There was a really funny meme that went around for a long time, because obviously before everything happened, Stevie P was a part of Smoked Out, and there was a hilarious thing that Stevie P always forgets his third round. He doesn't even write a third round, and doesn't come with a third round. And so when you are going up against an opponent that you know isn't going to come fully prepared for you, why would you then fully prepare for them and come with your best stuff? So that's one of those things where I hope that Stevie takes this seriously enough that he's coming with 3 full rounds, because he's great. He's a very, very good battler. And I want Creative to be motivated to beat the good Stevie P, not beat the Stevie P that only has 2 rounds. Because that'll get you the best performance from both of them if they both want to beat each other in that regard.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. And we have a potential for a really classic and great match here. I think that, you know, Stevie P, you know, he's so much experience, so much history, that lots of tricks in his bag that he can use. When he's on, I know he beat Ellipsis early in Ellipsis's career, which I think would, you know, surprise a lot of people. But he can bully, he can roast. He's good with the multis. So he's a good and angling. He's good, well-rounded. It's whether or not he comes with it, like you said, whether he's got his third rounds. I don't know. Could be a really great match. But if Creative's on his shit, he's really tough to beat.
He's really tough to beat.
So far so good. Shine 9 versus Copasetic is the main event. Cope. I'm back.
Main event Cope.
Glock. That's how we do.
That's how we do it, Glock.
And I basically, because I you know, full disclosure, because this is our show, so we can do whatever we want. But I missed out on the battle last time because I was going through some personal stuff that maybe I will talk about at another time. But I don't know if we need to do that here. But I felt really bad about it. And I mean, I shouldn't feel bad about it, I know, because it's like stuff that's sort of outside of my control or within my control. I don't really know how to explain it, but I wanted to give them a battle. I was like, listen, you know, I want to give you guys a really good battle. I want to sell a bunch of tickets. I want to, you know, show my value. And KOTD hasn't been throwing events in Canada. So it's like, what do we need to do to rally the community? Whatever we need, I'm down. I said, if you're doing a development card, I'm happy to jump on. I don't even care who I battle, whoever you want. And let's just make it happen. Let's just have a fun time. And they were like, do you want to battle Shine? I said, perfect. Because That's perfect. That's really ideal.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
Shine is a little bit of persuasion here. Shine's not on my level, so it's going to be good for me to get the ring rust off and to really show them the like, hey, listen, this is like I'm fucking really really good. I'm actually fucking really good, and I'm gonna fucking knock the fucking socks off of everybody in the league. I'll fucking take on anybody and I'll kill them, and then we'll see what's up. Then we'll see what's up if that's what it takes. But Shine this is a big opportunity for him. This is a tough one. And he's had big opportunities before. He's battled Chilla Jones, and he choked terribly and looked at his phone. It was horrific car crash of a battle. So I'm hoping he steps up and tries to at least meet me at my level, which is way 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 higher than his. So just hang in there, and maybe you won't die terribly. Is my advice to him. But yeah, a really fun battle for me. Just a light one. I might just show up 30 minutes before the battle and fucking write it all out. That's what just I do. We talked about. I feel like that's something I could do. So yeah, that's that. And I think it's going to be a really fun night. It'll be really great to get the community back together. I know there was a lot of people. I was out last night at an event, and they were like, "When's Battlerap coming back?" I was at a hip hop event. They're like, Cope, when are you battling again? I'm like, I'm going to kill this guy in April, so you should come out. So there's a lot of hype in the lower mainland, British Columbia, Canada, for a Battlerap to return, and Set the Bar is going to fill that void. So shouts out to them. I don't know if I sort of totally railroaded this conversation. If you had any thoughts about Shine and me.
No, not overly.
There you go.
Yeah, not really much to say. I think that it's going to be funny, but I mean, I battled Shine before, and I've watched you battle before, so
we'll discuss that. We're going to discuss that. I set that battle up. It's a weird triangle of battling that we have there, but that was a great battle for you. Yeah,
I got my foot in the door on that one. But I mean, I've also seen what you did against Franklin on the last Smoked Out New Wave with your very creative idea and angle about having Smack call you. And I have never seen Shine do anything close to as creative as that. So
you know what the fun thing about me being me is you never know if somebody's going to try and out me.
Well, you'll have to battle Papa on Smoked Out for that to happen.
Oh, I was waiting for that, man. But like, like a lot of the time guys are scared because they think I'm going to do some crazy shit, which is a huge advantage for me. Like, cause I was just doing crazy shit. I had no idea that it would be strategically advantageous, but now like guys like show up to the battle and they're like looking for puppets, looking for fucking costumes, like it's great. It super plays in my favor. And we'll see if Shine brings anything or if I bring anything. I know that people are asking me, and then I'm telling them that I'm going to do different things. So there are rumors out there about the different types of gimmicks that, but as per most things, I think you should just not believe anything that I say when I'm in promo mode, because that's just fun. But yeah, great event, and should be lots of fun. It looks like Battlerap is back in Canada, which is dope. I know that CRB's got stuff planned, and Beast Mode, they had an event. We're going to have Jo on here, recap that soon. We're back, baby.
We're back. Smoked Out's got stuff going on.
Dope.
It's not directly announced. It's more under wraps, and battles start coming out because we're trying to keep a little bit of mystery behind what's going on and stuff. But there's lots of events that are going to be happening in the summertime now. Cool. And then Organic made a post yesterday about August.
Spicy.
King of Dot in Toronto coming back. So big things for Canada happening.
Amazing. Big things for Canada. Big things for Nigeria. Shouts out to the UK and Ireland and America, I guess. But yeah, really good week for the culture. Yeah, I think that's the show. We went a little bit over, but I enjoyed myself, so fuck it.
Exactly.
That'll be it for this week. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So I'm not saying like and subscribe. I wouldn't ever say that. I think it's corny and it's whack. I wouldn't say like and subscribe. But all of the cool people I know have already liked and subscribed this video. So do with that information what you will.
Yeah,
obviously. You know, we're going to keep building the show. We're going to come back here every week and we're just going to rip it up. We love talking about international battle rap and the culture around the world. And if you want to be a part of that conversation, join us, r/rap battles. The Reddit is always going. You know, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Discord. We got all that shit going all the time. It's a huge community. So please come and join us. We would love to have you. All are welcome. Shouts out to our sponsors, whoever they are, because they're the sponsors are like, the sponsors at this point are like us, because we donate our time. So this is a bare bones operation. So shouts out to Pathogenic and Copasetic.
Shouts out to us.
Facts. And yeah, and I guess we'll see you next week. If you got anything.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. That's all I got.
Bong bong. Beautiful. Okay, well, thanks for coming. That's the Bodycast. Tweet us, do all that good shit, and we'll see you next week.